Namaskara world. You're watching the Ajay show. Welcome to Honnavara.
Honnavara, oh you beauty, is a serene coastal town in the Uttara Kannada district of Karnataka and is around 500 kilometers away from Bengaluru, the capital of Karnataka. Honnavara or Honnavara is a pristine coastal paradise which witnesses the union of Sharavathi River and the mighty Arabian Sea, typically giving rise to the world famous breathtaking backwaters. Not only that, Honnavara is also famous for the lush mangrove forests sustained by this estuarine magic and the tropical coastal climate combined with heavy rainfall. Beyond these attractions, Honnavara, which literally translates to the town of gold in Kannada, where Honna means gold and Uru means town, boasts of gem like the Kasarkod Eco Beach, which is a blue flag certified beach, Apsarakonda waterfalls, and the scenic hanging suspension bridge in its vicinity. Not very far from here, we also have the other tourist attractions like Murudeshwar and Gokarna, each just around 45 minutes to 1 hour drive from either side of Honnavara. Alright, let's deep dive into how this trip transpired over the course of 2 days. Started from Bengaluru around 8 p.m. on 28 May, and after traversing through the scenic and ghat-like roads of the Bengaluru-Honnavara highway, I reached Honnavara town early around 7 a.m. on a rainy Friday. Early at least in Honnavara standards, as most of the establishments only opened post 8 a.m. Fortunately, I got what I wanted as the first thing in the morning. Of course, it was the breakfast. And that too, I found a pure veg Brahmin style eatery in Nammane Batra Hotel Brahmin's Cafe, located close to the Sharavathi Circle, which formed the center of Honnavara. The ambience, of course, transported me back to the good olden days, and the vibe remained authentic. I had the fluffy steamed rice cake with a hint of semolina, and a plate of buns for nourishment. The idlis and the buns were palatable, but for me, the main highlight was their lentil sambar, which reminded me of home. It was also nice talking to Mr. Ganesh Hegde, the proprietor of this cute little eatery. Next up, I decided to travel to the nearby town of Karwar after learning that my stay was yet to be free for me to check in. As I am fond of train travels, I chose to reach Karwar by train operated by Konkan Railways, which currently is a subsidiary of Indian Railways. The train passed along the scenic Western Ghats, overlooking the Arabian Sea on the west, and the route was covered with lush green vegetation, mainly the coconut trees on the east. The train arrived at Karwar by 11 a.m. and it was time to head to the Karwar KSRTC bus stand from where the Karwar beach was at a walking distance. As I was walking towards the bus stop to catch the bus to the main bus stand, I noticed this board guiding the tourists to reach Kaiga, which is only one of the 7 places in India that generates nuclear power currently. In few minutes, I reached the Karwar bus stand from where I took a stroll to and along the Karwar beach, enjoying the breeze and sound of the waves. However, it was getting hotter, and by 12 p.m., I needed some respite from the heat and also felt like refueling myself. Visited this restaurant called Ajvi Ocean with a nice beach view and ordered myself a veg sandwich and a cup of tea. Post that quick little break, I made my way towards Kali River Garden, and honestly, there was nothing special to write home about. Soon after that, it was time to return to the original destination, and I once again traveled by train in the return direction to Honnavara. After reaching Honnavara, I took an auto ride towards Sharavathi Kandla Mangrove Boardwalk, or simply the mangrove forest. It felt nice and adventurous to perform the boardwalk while exploring the dense mangrove vegetation around it. Loved circumambulating this place, which looked like a cool photogenic spot. Few minutes later, tried the kayaking out there, which costed 100 rupees for 10 minutes, which, even if economical, was not up to the mark as we were allowed to kayak only within a limited region and the water was not deep as well, which made the kayak get stuck at some of the spots, rendering the experience not so great. Called it a day after this activity and quickly reached my stay, Panduranga Elite, located just 3 kilometers away from the city center. It was a nice, cozy room and well maintained too at a nominal price. Time for a quick nap before another exciting activity the next morning. Day 2, and it's definitely gonna be a fantastic day today as I'm trying out the pride of Honnavara, the backwaters boating. Firstly, I contacted the owner of Nisarga Boating Club the previous day, whose contact I received from one of my relatives. Like Nisarga Boating Club or the Nesara Boating Club, I am told there are more than 300 plus operators who are dependent on this backwater boating tourism for their livelihood. On this day, firstly, I fueled myself with a cup of hot filter coffee at Shilpa Coffee House near Sharavathi Circle, and from there, I hired an auto to reach the Nisaga Boating Club, some 3 kilometers away from the center. We rode on the narrow church road and reached the boarding point by 8:30 a.m. There, I met the operator for the day, Mr. Shabarish, whose boat was named after him, rightly so. And then, in no time, I hopped on to the beautifully adorned boat, and it was time to soak in the real beauty of Honnavara. The ride started slowly and steadily, gliding through the mouth of the Sharavathi River, flanked by coconut trees to my left and dense mangroves to my right. It was getting more blissful as we were nearing our first pit stop for the day and the most loved spot of the journey, the Kerala Point. This scene is just heavenly and lovely, isn't it? Clearly resembling the backwater regions of Kerala, the God's own country. Here, we paused for some time to enjoy the silence and stillness of the place while admiring the nature. There are multiple tuck shops located on the shore, and I took delight in sipping the fresh coconut water that's available in plenty at this spot. We clicked a lot of photos and videos here, which would definitely serve as a great memory in the ages to come. And all thanks to Mr. Shabarish for volunteering to click enough photos of mine. Next up, we rode around the island briefly near the Kerala Point and made our way towards the next pit stop, the Lotus Point, while also passing through multiple mangrove points on the way. This Lotus Point is technically a water lily point where I was fortunate enough to spot one, and of course, it made my memories more colorful with that capture. I am told that the spot would be fully blooming with lot more such water lilies in the months of November and December when the tourist footfall is expected to be much higher than this. Post this flowerful visit, it was time to return to the mainland where I got an opportunity to steer the boat for a limited period of time. This backwater boating was really a very good experience, and I highly recommend doing this activity if you're traveling to or via Honnavara. Remember that the rates for the boating can vary based on the duration and also on the season. Here, folks offer 1 hour and 1.5 hour rides, where the latter is comprehensive, and that's what I opted for. 1 hour ride just covers the Kerala Point and the island nearby. After an exhilarating backwater ride, it was time for some nourishment, and this time too, I headed towards Nammane Batra Hotel for some idlis and pulao. That was quite tasty too, along with the raita served. Post some quick nap, I got ready and checked out from my stay and went to this nearby restaurant, Shubham Udupi Grand, for lunch. I had creamy, buttery tomato soup and the gut friendly curd rice for lunch. With this much needed energy, it was time to go south and explore the unexplored places of Honnavara. Apsarakonda waterfalls was the first on my list, and I just did that. Reached the Apsarakonda waterfall spot after traveling by KSRTC bus and the auto rickshaw from the bus stop. As you saw, there are many places to visit near Apsarakonda waterfalls like the beach, the cliff, and the marine park. But I visited this beautiful waterfalls first, and of course, the flow wasn't at the best considering it was still summer. Later, after walking few meters away from the waterfalls, I reached the entrance of the marine park, from where I trekked up towards the Apsarakonda cliff or the viewpoint, from where the amazing vista of the Apsarakonda beach was visible and pleasing to the eyes. After spending some quality time at the watchtower, I trekked down and took a stroll around the marine park, and then again took the stairs down, reached the next attraction, the Apsarakonda beach. This beach is very scenic and beautiful, with the Apsarakonda Sweetwater Lake lying peacefully in its vicinity, and there were these mighty cliffs looking the beach, thereby adding more beauty to this environment. Spent some quality time there, and it was already time to visit the last spot for the day, and in fact, this whole tour, the Kasarkod Eco Beach. The Kasarkod Eco Beach is a blue flag certified beach, which means this beach complies with the 33 stringent criterion around water quality, environmental management, safety, and accessibility. As you enter the Eco Beach, you can spot the beach in front and also the Eco Park on the left. I entered the Eco Park after paying the entrance fee of rupees 10 and found myself at peace after taking a stroll and a quick nap on one of this nice and cozy lounger-like structure. Reclining on the lounger, the sight of the beach waves hitting the shore was something that I can cherish for long. Little later, I chose to walk out towards the beach, and the view of the beach was honestly very scenic and truly mesmerizing. Time was around 7 p.m., which meant it was time for me to sadly say goodbye to this wonderful place and get ready for my trip back to Bengaluru. I took one of the local buses to reach the Sharavathi Circle from the Eco Beach And yes, this is the most affordable and fun way of traveling in and around Honnavara. Before boarding the return bus to Bengaluru, I had my dinner at Hotel Rameshwaram, and unfortunately, there was nothing Rameshwaram about it, where they couldn't even differentiate between a ghee roast and a ghee masala dosa. Luckily, there wasn't much ghee floating on the dosa as well. All right, there came the end to this wonderful short trip to Honavar, and I truly enjoyed it for the full 2 days. And I hope you too enjoyed watching this travel log. Looking forward to having many more such trips like this, and see you all soon in another video. Until then, stay safe and stay creative always.